Yes, you can in unmute only, and no need of any mute. So both Bindu and Sindhu, you can unmute. No need of any
Actually,
mute.
there are some disturbances background. That is the reason I'm muting.
No problem, no problem. It's not an issue. Say, I mean, the both communication is needed. That's why. Okay. Say, I think already you listened my demo, recorded demo, but roughly once I'll repeat it in 5 to 10 minutes, and after that I'll continue. Okay. Say, initially, are you from IT background or non-IT background? Bindu, are you from IT or non-IT?
Yeah, I'm from IT background, but I have a huge gap in my education till now.
Okay, okay, okay.
So
Okay, no issue. Here we are
take me
going
as a
to
fresher
start
only.
with the beginning only. No issue. Okay. And now coming to Sindhu. Ma, are you from IT or non-IT?
Actually, I'm from, I graduated in electronics and communication engineering, and I have 2 or 3 subjects on this C++, and OOPS.
Okay, okay, fine. So anyway, here in this training, we are going to start with the beginning itself. But initially, based on your background, we are going to start our topics. That's why. Okay. Say coming to the testing, before entering into the testing, we should familiar with the HDLC. So I think already you listen these things in your demo. Just roughly within 5 minutes, I'll complete these things. Say HDLC stands for Software Development Lifecycle. It is nothing but steps to develop a software. That means in a software development, what are the steps? Now, what is the initial step? Initially, requirement collection. See, in each and every software company, we have a team. We have a team, requirement gathering team or a requirement collection team. The requirement collection team will go to the client area, they gather the requirements, and they documented the requirements as a BRS and FRS. So, but as a QA engineer, we are not involved here. Where is our job? Our job is only in testing. But before entering into the testing, we should familiar about this all the stages. That's why I'm explaining. But anyway, this is only introduction session only. Again, in our regular course, in depth, we are going to discuss about the HDLC. Okay. So after this requirement collection, what is the second phase here? Feasibility analysis. In the feasibility analysis, mainly the 4 things will be analyzed: domain analysis, technology analysis, resources analysis, and time and budget. It is also called as a time and cost. So domain means the project is coming under which domain, either banking or insurance or healthcare and so on. So technology, which is the best technology to develop the project, Java or .NET or whatever that may be. Resources, to develop the project, what are the resources required? Like how much manpower is required, what is the software things, what are the hardware things required. So time and budget or time and cost, to complete the project, how much budget it will take and how much time it will take, and all these things will be analyzed here. So designing, coming to the HLD and LLD. So HLD stands for high level designing, LLD stands for low level designing. HLD is representing the complete project architecture, whereas the LLD is representing the individual module architecture. For example, if your project is having a 3 modules or 4 modules, on each and every module, the clear information is available in the LLD. The complete project information is available in HLD. So now coming to the coding. So the developers will develop the code here. It's called as a source code. So they are called as a developers or the programmers. They will develop the source code. So after this coding, now coming to our job is testing. So we need to test the application. We need to test the application based on the client requirements. Based on the client requirements. But where is the client requirements? The client requirements is nothing but in the first phase itself, we have a BRS and FRS, business requirement specification and functional requirement specification. So as a QA engineer, our main job is we need to download these requirements. We need to study the requirements. Based on these requirements only, we need to test the project. Based on these requirements only, we need to test the project. And while conducting the testing, without using any tools, if you conduct the testing, that is a manual testing. So with using tools, if you conduct the testing, that is called as a automation testing. So if you want to test the application with a lot of inputs, with a large amount of inputs, then better go with the automation. So if you want to test your application with 1 or 2 inputs, then better you can go with manual testing. And if the same testing is repeating for a multiple times, a more number of times, then also you can go with automation. So in future, we're going to see when you have to go for manual automation and all these things. So finally, release. Install the application in the client area. Install the application in the client area is called as a release. After that release, if the client needs any modification or if the client is having any doubts, so that will take care by maintenance people. They are also called as a production supporting team. They're also called as a production supporting team. So here in our testing department, we should know a little bit terminologies like who is a vendor and who is a client. Now, vendor means who develops the project. Client means to whom you are developing the application. For example, here, just a rough example, a Wipro software company develops a project for ICICI Bank. So in this example, who is a vendor and who is a client? In this example, the Wipro people are called as a vendor. Why? Because they are developing the project. And ICICI Bank is called as a client. Why? Because the Wipro people develops a project for ICICI Bank. Right. So just it's a rough information about the SDLC, software development lifecycle. So now coming to our responsibilities. As a QA engineer, what is your responsibilities? See, as a QA engineer, our first responsibility is we need to download the requirements like BRS and FRS. As a QA engineer, our first responsibility is we need to download the requirements, the client requirements like a BRS and FRS. After downloading the requirements, we need to study the requirements. We need to study the requirements. According to your project size, they will give a time to study the requirements. You can study your BRS document and FRS document. And while studying the requirements, if you have any doubts, like you have a doubts in BRS or you have a doubts in FRS, so where you need to enter the doubts. So you can enter the doubts in a separate template. That template is called as a RCN template. RCN stands for Requirement Clarification Note. Requirement Clarification Note. It is also called as a clarification document. Clarification document. So to whom you need to send the doubts? You need to send the doubts to your SME, subject matter expert or domain expert or business analyst or author of the document. So no need to write anything. So just it is only introduction session. So from tomorrow onwards, when you are entering into the regular course, so each and everything clearly we are going to discuss with examples. So just today I'm giving a small introduction session only. Okay. Say from tomorrow onwards, when you are entering into the regular course, say observe the structure. Initially, we are going with a BRS template and FRS template. First day, we are going to see what is the template of BRS and what is the template of FRS. Now, what is the meaning of template? Template is nothing but a predefined structure or a predefined format. So in our language, we can say like simply format. So what is the format of BRS and what is the format of FRS? Initially, we are going to start with BRS and FRS templates. And after that, I'll explain a small example requirement document to you. We have a small example document, a FRS document, a banking domain requirement document. So based on this requirement document only, we are going to see how to prepare the testing documents. How to prepare the testing documents. I think already you know about the testing documents like test scenarios, test cases, test data, traceability matrix, bug reports. So all these documents are called as a testing documents. Mainly the testing documents, the main document is the test case. Test case is the main document. I mean, anybody, you know about test case? I mean, you listen about this test cases?
Yes.
As a QA engineer, our main job, the heart of our job is TC preparation. TC preparation. It's called as a test case preparation. But how to prepare these test cases? We need to prepare the test cases based on the use cases only. Mainly, we need to prepare the test cases based on the use cases. But where is this use case and what is this use case? So use cases are a part of your requirement documents. Use cases are a part of your requirement documents. See, in the FRS document, say observe the use case here. Use case is nothing but it is a brief description of actor action and system response. We are not preparing these use cases. We are not preparing the use cases. Use cases are a part of your requirement documents. When you are downloading the requirements, with that requirements, you can see the use case, your project use case. For example, roughly here I given a use case for the Gmail. See, like in the Gmail, what is your first action? In your Gmail or Yahoo Mail, what is your first action? Your action is like, so some
Login.
www.gmail.com. Initially, you're entering the URL. And then what will be the system response? The system response is it displays the login page. So after that, enter the username, enter the password and submit. And then it displays the inbox, right? So like this, you'll get a use case related to your project. So you need to study this use case. By studying the use case only, we need to prepare the test cases. Now, after the use case studying, you need to prepare your test case. In your test cases, you need to write this action. You need to write this action. When you are performing this action, in the expected result, you need to write it. In the expected result, you need to write it. Like if you enter the URL, then what you are expecting from your project, you are expecting like the login page should be displayed. If the expected thing and actual thing both are same, my expected and the actual both are same, the test case will be passed. If the expected and actual both are mismatched, that means the test case will be failure. So like that, we need to prepare the test cases based on the use cases only. So we are not preparing the use cases. Use cases are a part of your requirement documents only. So where is your requirement documents as a QA engineer? When you are entering into your company, initially your job is you need to download your project requirements. Your company people will share it with you. So based on this requirement documents only, we need to start our testing documentation, like how to prepare the test scenarios, how to prepare the test cases, how to prepare the test data. So traceability matrix and all these things are based on the requirement documents only. We need to do all these things. So practically day by day, we are going to see all these things. One day we are going to discuss about the BRS, FRS. One day we are going to see how to fill the doubts. One day we are going to see how to prepare the scenarios. One day we are going to see how to prepare the test cases and the test data. Again, we have valid data and invalid data. So how to prepare valid data and how to prepare invalid data. Why? Because you need to test a project with a valid inputs and invalid inputs also. So testing a project with a valid input is called as a positive testing. Testing a project with a invalid data is called as a negative testing. So as a QA engineer, you need to go with a valid testing, positive testing and negative testing also. So traceability matrix is nothing but a mapping between the requirements and test cases. Simply a mapping between requirements and test cases. Like we can say like it's a mapping between the use cases and test case. Under each and every use case, what are the test cases we design? So what are the advantages and everything we are going to discuss here. And while executing your test cases on the build, some test cases may be passed, some test cases may be failure. Now in this line, what is the meaning of a build? Build is nothing but simply your project. So it may be a complete application or it may be a part of the application which is ready for testing. What is the meaning of a build? Build means it may be a complete application or it may be a part of the application. What is the meaning of part of the application? A module, which is ready for testing. So that is called as a build. We need to implement our test cases or we need to execute our test cases on the build. But while executing, if the expected value, actual value, both are same, it will pass. If both are mismatched, it will fail. Failure means a defect is raised. So where you need to enter the defect, you need to enter the defect in bug report. Finally, the bug report will be reached to developer. So developer have to fix the bugs based on the priority. Developer have to fix the bugs based on the priority. First, he will fix the high priority bugs, next medium priority, next low priority, like that. Okay, ma? Say in future, we are going to see what is a severity, what is a priority, who will set the severity, who will set the priority. So what are the different types of severities? And we are going to see all these things in our future classes. So anyway, the bug fixing is done by the developer. After fixing the major bugs, the modified build will be released to the tester. Now, just a minute. No? Yeah. Sorry. See, once the major bugs are fixed by your developer, then the modified build will be given to the tester. Now, why the modified build given to the tester? Can you guess?
For retesting.
Yeah, exactly, retesting. So we need to confirm whether the bug is properly fixed or not. We need to confirm, we need to recheck. Really, if the bug is fixed, really, if the bug is fixed, you need to close it. You need to close it. As a QA engineer, we need to close it. If really it's not fixed, still there is some issue, then simply send it back to your developer. So here the bug fixing is different. The bug closing is different. Now, who will fix the problem? Developer fix the problem. Who will close the problem? The test engineer have to close the problem. Okay, so practically we are going to see all these things like how to prepare the test cases, test scenarios, and the traceability matrix, bug report, and how to set these severities. And we are going to see all these things day by day. And test plan. So who will prepare the test plan? Generally, the test plan prepared by the test lead or test manager. But before entering into our activities, we need to study the test plan. See, this test plan is same like your journey plan or a trip plan. See, whenever you are going to some long trip, so we are going to prepare a plan, a trip plan, like a schedule. What is a day 1 schedule, day 2, day 3, day 4, and we are going to see some resources like a food, money, clothes. We are going to check some resources, and we have some scopes. Scopes means what to do, what not to do. So when you are planning a holiday trip, whatever the plan, a trip plan we are preparing, same like a trip plan, we have a test plan. Both are same. Your trip plan and the test plan, both are same. So here in testing journey, what is the objective of our testing journey? Scope of the journey. Scope means what to do, what not to do, boundaries. Resources. For testing department, what are the hardware things required? What are the software things required? How much manpower is required? Schedules, timetable, like how many days for scenarios, how many days for test cases, how many days for test data preparation, how many days for traceability matrix, and all these things will be there. So like that, we are going to discuss about the test plan also. So in the manual testing part, we have both the theory and practical part. And practical means how to prepare the scenarios, how to prepare the test cases, how to prepare the bug report, traceability matrix, and all these things called as a practical work in your manual testing. But what is a theory? In manual testing, we have a theory like SDLC, Software Development Life Cycle. STLC. STLC means Software Testing Life Cycle. BLC. Yeah, BLC means Bug Life Cycle. BLC stands for Bug Life Cycle. And we have a different types of testings. Now, what are the different types of testings? Like what is a sanity testing? What is a smoke testing? What is a formal testing? What is a informal testing? What is a regression testing, retesting, and we have a functional testing and non-functional testing. We have some special types of testings here: mutation testing, monkey testing, gorilla testing, end-to-end testing. So like that, we have a different types of testings here. We're going to see all these theoretical issues here. And so we have some techniques. So like testing techniques are nothing but static testing and dynamic testing. Again, in the static testing, we have some techniques like reviews and walkthroughs. In the dynamic testing, we have some techniques like a white box and black box. In the white box, what are the techniques? In the black box, what are the techniques? So we are going to cover all these testing techniques. And we are going to see the SDLC models. SDLC models means waterfall model, V model, RAD model, prototype model, spiral model, and agile model. So all these theoretical things we are going to cover in this manual part. So now coming to the automation part. In automation, here we are going to cover Selenium with Java. I mean, no need of any advanced Java. We need only the core Java. So it's called as a Selenium with Java. So initially, I'll explain the Java, core Java. See, once you are okay with the core Java, once you are comfortable with core Java, then only we are entering into the Selenium part. So don't worry about the programming. So after completion of each and every program, I'll enter into your screen, and you need to practice the programs under my guidance. So it's my responsibility. I'll check your practicing part also. Once you are okay with one program, then only I'll go with the second program. So like that, you are going to practice each and every program in your system itself under my guidance. So once you are comfortable with core Java, then we are entering into Selenium part. See, in the Selenium, again, we have a different types of tools. In the Selenium, again, we have different types of tools. What are the different tools in your Selenium? Just see, Selenium IDE, Selenium IDE, Selenium WebDriver, Selenium Grid. So like that, we have a different types of tools. But presently in the real-time environment, we are all using WebDriver, Selenium WebDriver. But in this training part, initially we are going to cover the core Java. After the core Java, we are going to learn the basic things in Selenium IDE. Like we are going to see element locators, how to identifying your elements. We are going to cover in the IDE. And after that, WebDriver, in-depth complete WebDriver. After WebDriver, we are going to see the grid and XML. See, the Selenium grid and XML is mainly for remote operation. Remote operation means remotely you can operate your WebDriver program from another place. It's called as a XML concept or a grid. Nowadays, the XML is a familiar thing. Here we're going to see the complete XML, like how to control your WebDriver programs remotely. Jenkins is scheduler. So it is for scheduling your execution. You can schedule your WebDriver program execution. You can set the date and time. On that particular date, on that particular time, the programs will be executing with using a Jenkins. And we have some third-party tools like TestNG or JUnit. Mainly it is for reporting purpose. So it is not a part of your Selenium, but we need to integrate this TestNG with WebDriver. So when you are executing the WebDriver program, the report will be generated in TestNG. Right. See here, I'll take care about all the installations and integrations. See, after completion of every program, I'll enter into your screen and I'll take care about the installations. I'll take care about the integration part. So when you are executing this WebDriver program, the result will be displayed. The report will be displayed with using TestNG only. The previous version of the TestNG is called as a JUnit. And AutoIT and Robot. See, these third-party tools mainly to handle the Windows. Actually, in Selenium, we have a small drawback. The drawback is we can test only the web-based applications. We cannot test the window-based applications. So I think you know about what is web-based and what is window-based. Simply, we can say like, see, observe this calculator. This calculator is a window-based application or web-based application. It is a window-based. So simply, we can say like without browser, whatever the application you open, it's coming under a window-based. With using a browser, whatever the applications we are opening, that is a web-based application. So here, all our Selenium concepts, we are going to practice on this Orange HRM application. It's a HRM project, employee management project. It is also open source project. Open source project means it's a free of cost. Anyone can use this project. Directly, they mentioned a username, they mentioned a password here. With using this username, password, you can log in into this site and you can work with this application. All our Selenium topics practically we are going to implement here. So that means while learning your course itself, you are practicing a project. So on this project, we are going to implement all our Selenium topics. And here the issue is in the middle of your project, in the middle of your web-based project, unfortunately, if you have any windows, either 1 or 2 windows you got in the middle of your project, then to handle that windows, what is the meaning of handling the windows? Just click on OK button or click on close button, or just click on cancel button. Like that, a small operations on a small windows. Then we can take the help of a third-party tools. AutoIT is one of the third-party tool. Robot is one of the third-party tool. With using these tools, you can control the windows in the middle of your project. If the entire project is a window-based, don't go with that. The project is a web-based project, but in the middle, unfortunately, if you have either 2 or 3 windows, to handle that windows, you can take the help of either AutoIT or Robot. And here we have some frameworks. Practically, we are going to implement all these frameworks. Just listen the names, the framework names: data-driven framework, keyword-driven framework, hybrid framework, modular-driven, Maven framework, POM. POM stands for Page Object Model Framework. And finally, Cucumber framework. See, some people think like Cucumber may be a tool. No, it's wrong. Cucumber is not a tool. Cucumber is also a framework. So practically we are going to implement the Cucumber framework here. So what is the difference between the remaining frameworks and Cucumber framework? So in this Cucumber framework, directly we are not writing any programs. Directly you are not writing any programs. First you need to write your ideas. First you need to write your ideas as a Cucumber stories, as a Cucumber stories or Cucumber notes. Some people are call it as a Cucumber story. So some people are call it as a Cucumber notes. Say by seeing the BDD document or by studying the BDD document, we need to write the Cucumber stories. How you can write your Cucumber stories? By studying BDD document. What is this BDD document? BDD stands for behavior driven development. Behavior driven development. In your company, if your company people are implementing the Cucumber framework, then they will provide a BDD document to you related to your project. So by studying the BDD document only, you need to write the Cucumber stories. You need to write Cucumber stories or Cucumber notes. So here the BDD means BDD focus on what to test, not a how to test. And it describes the behavior of your software. The BDD describes the behavior of your software. Your software functionalities are explained here in very understandable way. So by studying the BDD, easily you can understand your project. And after that, based on that BDD document, you need to write your Cucumber stories. So that's why the Cucumber is used to implementing the BDD. So we are all saying like Cucumber is used to implementing your BDD. So after this, simply observe here. So with using Cucumber, you need to start writing the human readable user stories. Now you need to start writing human readable user stories. After that, you need to write a code. You need to write a code. Which code? You need to write a WebDriver code. You need to write a WebDriver code to run the story or to implement the story. You can say like run the story or to implement the story. First, you need to write the stories. After that, you need to write your code, a WebDriver code to implement your story. And this concept is called as a Cucumber. So practically, we are going to see the Cucumber framework also. See, once again, I'm explaining in automation part what we are going to cover here. In automation part, first we are going to cover the core Java. After the core Java, IDE, the basics of Selenium, we are going to learn here. After that, WebDriver. For remote operation, either grid or XML. Mainly, we are going to concentrate on XML. Nowadays, it is a main topic, the XML for remote operation. Jenkins is a scheduler we are going to learn here. For reporting purpose, we are depending on TestNG. Universally, everyone is depending on TestNG only at present for reporting purpose. I mean, whenever you are using a WebDriver, the main option is TestNG is one of the main option for reporting purpose. AutoIT and Robot is for controlling the unexpected windows. And all these things are the frameworks. What are the frameworks we are going to cover in WebDriver part? Okay, ma? So just it is the information. And one more thing, Selenium is one of the open source tool. I think you know about what is the meaning of open source.
Yes.
Open source means it's a free of cost.
Yes,
No need to buy the license. Okay, so it is not a commercial tool. It is not a commercial tool like your QTP or UFT. So QTP or UFT is one of the familiar functional tool, but the thing is it is a commercial tool or it is a paid tool. But the QTP, I mean the Selenium is not a paid tool. Selenium is fully open source tool. And here in Selenium, you can write a program with using Java or C#, Python, PHP, Perl, Ruby. With using any of these languages, you can write a program in Selenium. But the max people will go with the Selenium with Java. The reason is Selenium is open source. The Java is also one of the best open source. C# is not a open source. It's a .NET. So .NET is not a open source. Again, we need to buy it. So there are some other open sources, but when you're comparing with a Java, features wise, the security wise, the Java is the best option. So that's why the max people will go with
Selenium Java.
Java.
There is some disturbances. I can't hear your voice.
So some people are are having a doubt, Selenium with Java, just I'll keep my mic near to me. See, now can you hear me?
Yeah, now it is okay.
Now can you hear me?
Yes,
Right.
now it
Yes.
is okay.
Right. See, Absha here, Selenium is one of the open source tool. It's not a paid tool and it's not a commercial tool. And here in Selenium, you can write a program with using Java, C#, Python, and so and so. But the max people will go with Selenium with Java.
Selenium with Java.
What is the reason? It is one of the best open source. When compared to features wise, when compared to security wise, the Java is the best option. And it's not a thing like you can test only Java projects. It's not like that. You can test any web-based applications here. Next, Selenium works with any OS like Windows, Mac, Linux. In any OS, the Selenium will work. Right, Amma? Till this, are you okay?
Yes.
Right. And
Yes.
from tomorrow onwards, we are going to start our regular classes. And daily, it is a 1 hour session. The classes are from Monday to Friday in Indian timings. But tomorrow, even it's a Saturday, I can take the class on tomorrow because today is the first day session. So second day, I don't want to give a holiday. That's why tomorrow, I mean, can you attend the class on tomorrow, both of you? Is it okay
Yes.
with you?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Tomorrow, I'll start your first session. Just today, it is coming under a demo session only. That's why tomorrow I'm going to start your first session. And here my training pattern is parallelly we are going to start the manual part and automation. That means manual
Excuse
part
me,
means
there is
tomorrow
some
we are going to and
disturbances.
banking related project. Still, nobody is
Yes,
here.
it's not audible. Your
No,
voice is
it's I think it's a network issue.
Network related issue. Okay.
maybe, yeah.
Yes. Say tomorrow we are going to see what is a BRS template, what is a FRS template, and we are going to see example document to you. I'll explain the example FRS document to you. So based on this FRS document, once you are okay with the project, then we are going to start our testing documentation. It is half of the session tomorrow. The remaining half, we are going to start the core Java. So why? Because if I teach only the manual, so some people may think like a boring, like a manual means that is a theory, pure theory. So that's why for practical knowledge, parallelly 20 minutes or 30 minutes, we are going to discuss about the core Java also parallelly. Sorry. See, we are going to practice our Java programs in Eclipse. And do you have the Eclipse in your system?
Yes.
Bindu, you have Eclipse with you?
Yeah, I do
Right.
have.
Yeah. Sindhu, do you have Eclipse with you?
No, I will ask my husband to download.
Okay. Even if there is no Eclipse, don't worry. Tomorrow when I'm entering into your system, so I'll install it. Okay, I'll take care about all the installations. Don't worry if you don't have it. Okay.
Sure.
See, for tomorrow's session, I'll give a rough information about core Java. And from tomorrow onwards, you need to maintain 2 notes or at least 1 notes. One side you need to maintain the manual, opposite side you need to maintain the core Java. So notes is mandatory. I mean, it's not a soft copy, it's a hard copy only, like a book and pen. It's a mandatory. I'll give some important points, you need to note it down. Right, in the automation part you need to write some programs also. That's why you need to maintain a book and pen is mandatory. And I'll share the soft copy also. These things whenever I discuss a particular topic, on the same day I'm going to share the particular document with you, but the notes is mandatory. Okay. For today, just roughly, I'll explain a little bit information about Java, just for a 5 to 10 minutes. Please take the heading core Java. Take the heading, a small heading, core Java. So you take the first point. In the core Java, the first point is Java is a case sensitive language. Java is a case sensitive language. Do you know what is the meaning of a case sensitive language? Case sensitive language means the uppercase things must be in upper only, the lowercase things must be in lower only. We can't write our own cases. Okay, ma? So in the lower, everything we're going to learn. So now take the second point. The second point is Java program begins with a class. Java program begins with a class, CLASS class. Okay, ma? Is it over? Right. Please listen. What is the meaning of a class? Just listen. Class is nothing but collection of methods and variables. Now, class is nothing but collection of methods and variables. Please take the next point. The next point is class is nothing but a collection of methods and variables. So tomorrow practically we are going to see this. What is the meaning of a variable? What is the meaning of the method? I'll explain all these things. Okay. See, do you have any idea about the methods? Method means a number of statements grouped into a single unit. A number of statements grouped into a single unit is called as a method. Right? For example, I'll give a small example to you. So in a classroom, there are number of people, like 30 people in a class. And I'm dividing that 30 people into 10, 10, 10. First 10 people as a group 1, the second 10 people as a group 2, the third 10 people as a group 3. G1, G2, G3, group 1, group 2, group 3. And if I want to call the first 10 people, so how I can call the first 10 people? Simply I can call like, please respond G1. Then how many people are responding? 10 people are responding. So it is easy for me. Instead of calling the 10 names, simply I can call respond G1 or respond G2 or respond G3. So it is for reusability. Only one time I need to give the group names. In future, any number of times I can call like a G1, G2, G3. So mainly, so this is a methods are for reusability. Reusability means only one time you need to create the methods. That means one time we need to define the methods. In future, any number of times you can call the methods. Any number of times you can call the methods. See, like that here, what is the meaning of a class? What you written? Class is nothing but a collection of methods and variables. Right, Amma? Are you okay with this? Say, yes. But in future, if you want to call these methods or if you want to call these variables, directly you cannot call the methods and variables. Directly, you cannot call the methods and variables. So to call the methods, to call the variables, the object is mandatory. You need to create an object to the class. You need to create object to your class. Please take the next point. The next point is, if you want to call the methods and variables, okay, then we need to create an object to the class. We need to create object to the class. See, some people are calling this object as an instance or reference. So what are the alternate names for the object? It may be instance or it may be reference. Please take the next point. Object is also called as a instance or reference. Object is also called as an instance or reference. Right? See, one more thing, a last point. See here, a class is nothing but we discussed like a collection of methods and variables. So that means you can write any number of methods or you can write any number of variables. But when you are executing your program, when you are executing the Java program, the execution starts with main method. Always the execution is beginning with main method, M-A-I-N, main. So every program is having one main method, only one main method in every program. See, whenever you are running the program, the execution starts with main method only. See, for example, a general example, in your home, the power supply will come to the main. No, the power supply, the electricity, the power supply will come to the main first in your home. So from that main only, it will be distributed to all your rooms. Is it right, Amma? You're accepting, you should accept this. Always the power supply will come to the main. From the main only, the power will be distributed to all the rooms. Here also same. Whenever you are running the program, first the execution is beginning with main method only. But how many main methods in one program? In one program, there is only one main method. Only one main method. Remaining methods can be any number of methods you can write. But the main method, there is only one main method. So please take the next point. Java program execution starts with main method only. Java program execution starts with main method only. See, listen here. Even you are writing the main method at the beginning of the program, or even you can write the main at end of the program, or it may be in the middle of the program. It's not a issue. Wherever the main method, it may be at beginning, or it may be at ending, or it may be in the middle. Wherever you want, you can write your main method. But if you run the program, the execution should start with that particular main only. So tomorrow, practically we are going to see all these things. First, I'll install the Eclipse in your system. If you don't have, no issue. After that, we are going to practice all these programs day by day. So after completion of each and every program, I'll enter into your screen. You can practice the programs. So don't worry about the programming part. Okay, ma? And in future, if you are unable to attend any class, you can inform and you can leave. I mean, by mistake, anytime if you have any urgency, you can leave. You are not losing any session. Again, I'll take care about your missing classes also. Don't worry about the missing classes also. Okay, ma'am. See, for today, just I'm closing here. Just it's an introduction session. That's why I'm taking a 45-minute session only. From tomorrow onwards, it will be the 1 hour session. And from tomorrow, it will be the regular course. Okay, ma'am. Today, just I given the information only about our training. It's not a class. Today's session is not a regular session. Just only information only. Tomorrow, concept by concept, clearly I'll give, and please maintain the notes also from tomorrow onwards. A physical copy, hard copy of the notes. Okay. See, are you okay with that today's session, or any doubts you want to discuss anything with me? Bindu, are you okay with today's
Yeah.
session? Right, Amma? Sindhu?
I have a
Awesome
doubt.
explanation, sir.
Sorry, Amma?
Awesome explanation,
Yeah,
sir. We
yeah,
understood clearly.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Okay, so if you have any issue at any day, no issue, so directly you can ask to me. So clearly we can discuss each and every topic. And the duration of the training, it may be approximately 45 days to 55 days. So that is based on the student. So I mean, some students are having a little bit low grasping power. Some people are having a high grasping power. That's why I'm saying approximately it will take to 45 days to 55 days. It is not like a day 1, day 2, day 3. It's not like that. Till you are perfect with the training, so I'll take care. Okay, so I'm the responsible person for your practicing also. It is not only one-way training, it's a two-way training. Once you are okay with the practicing, then only I'll go with the next topic. Okay, so don't worry about the practicing and everything. Okay, for today I'm closing here, and see you on tomorrow. And daily you will get the recording sessions. Please collect the recordings from Srinivas sir. Okay, he will provide the recordings to you. So please follow the recordings. So if you have any doubt in that recordings, please ask me in the next class. Okay, ma'am? So thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much. For today, I'm closing. Tomorrow is Saturday, but I'll take your class on tomorrow at same time. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you.